Every parent wants to give their child the tools they need to succeed in life. Early literacy is strongly connected to a successful academic career. Studies show that early literacy and exposure to books and reading can strongly influence a child's academic success. Early literacy does not mean that the child should be able to read at a young age. It simply means that a child has acquired the skills that they need to be ready for the transition between being a non-reader and becoming a reader. The key to academic success lies in promoting and fostering an environment that exposes children to the tools that will supply them with these skills. Some may think that schools and teachers are solely responsible for the academic success of children. That thought couldn't be more wrong. There are many things that a parent can do to help ensure a child's academic success long before the child even enters grade school. A study conducted over 20 years in 27 countries, surveying more than 70,000 people, showed that a child whose parents have lots of books is almost 20% more likely to finish college. This study also showed that a child whose family has 25 books will on average complete 2 more years of school than a child whose family has no books. This study shows the importance of early exposure to books and reading on a child's academic success. This exposure comes long before a child enters school. If this exposure is put off until a child is old enough to go to school and be taught in a traditional classroom setting, the child will have already missed out on important early literacy skills. So if the responsibility of a child's reading readiness falls on the parents or guardians of the child, what kinds of things should they be teaching the child? Early literacy includes vocabulary, print motivation, print awareness, narrative skills, letter knowledge, and phonological awareness. Most of these skills will be learned easily by the child if they acquire one of the most important early literacy skills first. This important skill is print motivation. The reason that print motivation is one of the most important early literacy skills is because it is the child's interest in books and reading, including the enjoyment they get from books and being read to. This interest in books can be acquired well before the child can read. The parent can read to the child and make reading an activity that they do together to connect reading with something else positive in the child's life. There are books that are made especially for babies to play with. Giving these to children can make them comfortable with books before they are even old enough to know what a book is. The more comfortable a child is with books at a young age, the easier it will be for them to learn the other early literacy skills. These early literacy skills will lead to an easier time learning how to read, which will in turn lead to a more successful academic career. Some of the early literacy skills don't even necessarily require reading from a book. Playing word games, such as rhyming games, can help with skills such as phonological awareness. Many of these early literacy skills can be taught easily through everyday interaction between parent and child. For instance, narrative skills, which is the child's ability to tell stories or describe things and events, can be practiced by simply asking the child about their day and assisting them in describing what happened to them that day. Letter knowledge can be practiced by writing down each letter and asking what sound the letter makes, or by asking verbally. Acquiring these skills, as well as other early literacy skills, will be much easier if a child has had exposure to books and reading at an early age, because they will already be somewhat comfortable with these concepts, if only subconsciously. All children develop differently, and therefore the age of mastery of these skills will differ from child to child. However, if a child seems to be having an abnormally hard time developing these skills, it is important that the parent engages in some sort of early intervention. In most cases, this simply means spending more time helping the child develop those skills and pinpointing specific problem areas in the child's development. Again, it is essential that this not be put off until the child enters school. While teachers will be able to assist in these situations, it is important to target the difficulties as early as possible to allow for maximum potential for success. While literacy is something that can be accomplished through schoolwork alone, a child's academic success is strongly connected to early literacy skills and reading readiness before entering school. These skills are mostly learned at home and are taught by caring adults in the child's life. If you have a child in your life, whether it is your own child, a relative, or a friend, Remember that early literacy, especially print motivation or an interest in books and reading, is essential to the child's potential academic success and should be taught and nurtured as much as possible. For more information on this topic, please see the description below for the list of sources I used in this speech.